members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Many all over the country today are speculating why I have called this press conference. The last time I spoke to the media was in September of 2024, upon my return to the country to pursue my vindication through the rule of law. People then thought my comments were going to center on the witch hunt against me and other former officials of the CDC administration. Consistent with the wisdom that it is not prudent to discuss matters pending before the judiciary, I addressed many different issues during that interview. At today's press conference, I will do the same. So those speculating that I'm about to speak on my case are dead wrong. I will, however, say in passing that despite the evident delayed gimmicks from the prosecution and the state, we will prevail in what is a clear example of national security expenditure that is amply protected by Nigerian law. We look up to the judiciary for guidance in concluding that matter. Today's press conference will center instead on the political factors, the lies, the hate, the envy, the propaganda, the dishonesty, and the shenanigans that aim to destroy innocent individuals in the public space for political motives. The question today we will ask is, why would people in our society, in our government, in our political parties, in our media, in our religious institutions know the honest truth or aspects of this truth, but will refuse to say anything when blatant falsifications are being hashed by malicious individuals to destroy innocent people? Why do those who know the truth on matters become willing accomplices to destroy others by their dangerous silence? Today, I will demonstrate how this evil information manipulation was deployed and weaponized against the administration of the CDC, and how people are intent on sustaining this culture of lies to destroy people in our politics. Those of us who have been caught in the crosshairs of these machinations will fight back with every means at our disposal, intellectually, politically, and of course, legally. This will not be and should not be how we conduct our politics. We cannot fight corruption by lying on innocent people. Those who have determined to sustain this culture of lies and dishonesty in our politics and society must be fiercely resisted and fought so that we arrive at a more honest national discourse that will focus on the serious issues affecting our people. Today's conference is about initiating that fight. It is about demonstrating how targeting Samuel Twe and keeping his name in the public, even when he has done nothing wrong, appears to be the goal of some individuals in our politics and in our media. One of these individuals is Mr. Stanton Witherspoon. Mr. Witherspoon has used the Spoon Network to malign my person and spew out misinformation concerning me for more than 4 years while I was Minister of Finance. Even out of power, he continues to pursue me. Although Mr. Witherspoon faces several lawsuits for libel, he does not seem deterred in maligning innocent people, aiming to destroy their reputation. In the last 6 years, I have treated these machinations as coming with the political territory, offering public clarifications or denunciations. I have always believed a public official should be willing to withstand public scrutiny, but malicious attempts to demean and damage the reputation of an individual is a far cry from public scrutiny. Clearly, these lawsuits have evidently not deterred Mr. Witherspoon and those of his ilk. Today, I'm exposing the conspiracy by Mr. Witherspoon and others to get Samuel Twe involved in some fake, false 30 million COVID-19 scandal, for which Mr. Witherspoon said on his network on last Thursday, June 26, 2029, that, quote, I will be arrested. Samuel Twe will be arrested by the government. I have here the video footage of Mr. Witherspoon's comments, and will play it before taking questions. More than 100,000 Nigerians must have heard this malicious garbage. Several persons have since called me to ascertain the veracity of his injurious rant against my person. And since people are actually having conversations about, quote unquote, my pending arrest, with some urging me to change my sleeping location. All of this for something, not only that I really don't know, but no wrong I have committed. Let it be clear that if the government is investigating the COVID-19 World Food Program food distribution, it is the World Food Program that will be under investigation and not former Minister Samuel D. Twe Jr. I believe publicly demonstrating the abject falsity and bogosity of these Witherspoon-inspired rumors concerning a supposedly 30 million COVID scandal, the public will appreciate the extent and scope of the conspiracy against me, and they begin to ask why am I the target of so many in our politics. I will present here publicly available reports on the 30 million, say which institution was giving this money, where the money came from, how much of this was spent, and how much was left over. I will also show that the current UP administration has authorized the use of the balance of this money, for which, according to Mr. Stanton, I should be or would be arrested. In 2010, let's present the facts to the public and commence the destruction of these evil rumors. In 2020, the government of Liberia through the national legislature worked with the International Monetary Fund to secure 25 million loans to support what was called the COVID-19 Household Food Support Program. This program was about giving food to Liberian households during COVID-19. As part of the arrangement, the government and the IMF agreed that the money should be deposited directly into the bank account of the World Food Program, which, according to the government and the IMF, had the best expertise and experience to distribute food on a global and national scale. I was very happy with this arrangement because it meant no Liberian government institution would be accused of, quote, stealing 25 million, since it would be the World Food Program that would be accounting for the 25 million. I was happy that another 25 million lie would be avoided. You don't know the 25 million map of lie. But as we all can see now, my happiness was futile and short-lived because I am today here talking about 25 million that was directly deposited and spent by the World Food Program. Long story short, the Ministry of Finance, under my leadership, received 25 million from the IMF through the government revenue account and transferred this sum in its entirety to the bank account of the World Food Program. I don't think that money stayed a full day at the Ministry of Finance when it came. It was transferred immediately. Also, the World Food Program received $5 million from the World Bank through the Smallholders Agriculture Transformation Agribusiness Revitalization Project, STARPI. This $5 million was released directly by the World Bank as monies for donor partners such as the World Bank do not go to the government revenue account. Based on the final report of the project, which I have, I will show you a copy of that. The World Food Program received a total of 30 million from two different sources: the Ministry of Finance under my leadership, and the World Bank and the Ministry of Agriculture. In July of 2022, the World Food Program reported that it spent 23.838 million and had a balance of 1.17 million to transfer back to the government through the MFDP. The World Food similarly had the amount of 857,000, these are US dollars, to be returned to the World Bank directly. In total, they had a little over $2 million of unspent COVID-19 food distribution money. So in other words, they probably spent a little less than $28 million. Up to the time the CDC administration left office, the World Food Program had not returned this money. Thanks to Deputy Minister Augustus Flomo and his hard-working team, we left a turnover note with recommendations for the incoming administration. I have the entire copy of our turnover note from the Department of Economic Management, which deals with matters of donor funding. But specifically, we have printed out the section on the recommendation that was left with incoming Finance Minister Kwame Kabara and the UP administration. But it gets more interesting. I have a letter dated March 2025 from Finance Minister Augustine Pehe Gafuan requesting results to expect from the $234,350 or 20% of the unutilized COVID-19 food distribution money he had previously approved for expenditure on school feeding as requested by the World Food Program. An earlier letter from Minister Gafuan in September 2020 reads his denial of a request from the country director of the World Food Program to use 500,000 of the unused funds for school feeding. I have also a May 2023 letter from former country director of World Food Program, Mr. Aliu Diongu, requesting my approval for said reallocation. Mr. Aliu personally visited me, and I told him then I was not in the position to grant such an approval. We had a good conversation. Yeah. But let's imagine Minister Gaffron has approved the reallocation, and it is Minister Twe who is now being rumored to be arrested. Imagine if Samuel Twe had approved and given the money to Aliu. They would have said Samuel Twe used World Program money for CDC campaign, and maybe I might have been arrested already. So to conclude, members of the press, these are facts on the COVID-19 30 million. Why did Mr. Waterspoon put my name out there for 30 million? Mr. Waterspoon claims to have received this information from government sources, quote unquote. I don't care about Mr. Waterspoon and his sources. I care that Liberians have falsely been made to believe I'm illegally connected to some $30 million, for which the government is purportedly seeking my arrest as part of its dragnet on former CDC officials. I have consulted my team of lawyers who believe there are substantial merits in libel lawsuit against Mr. Waterspoon pertaining to this defamation. I've instructed my lawyers to file this suit early next week. This will be the legal battle. Today, I will spend some time discussing this and other lies and how these lies have been weaponized against individuals in the CDC administration. I thank you. I will now play the video footage and we'll take your questions on these after that and other developments.
Most Finance Minister Samuel Twe addressing the press on trending national issues and accusing Spoon FNCO Standard Waterspoon of accusing him of a $30 million United States dollars. An allegation, he said, his lawyers are working to file a lawsuit against Standard Waterspoon next week for illegally and falsely accusing him of a $30 million he knows nothing about. So we come into the live. So he's now playing the recording of Waterspoon. He said the money was COVID money.